In 1999, Phil Condit, the former CEO and chairman of Boeing, said, "We are moving toward a global economy. One way of approaching that is to pull the covers over your head. Another is to say, it may be more complicated, but if that's the world I'm going to live in, I might as well be good at it." One skill necessary to be good at living in a global economy is to develop cultural intelligence. Cultural intelligence is an outsider's seemingly natural ability to interpret, interact with, and adapt to someone's unfamiliar and ambiguous gestures the way that person's compatriots would. In other words, cultural intelligence is one's ability to relate and work effectively across cultures. Cultural intelligence is important because it allows for the spread of diverse ideas. In order for companies to keep up in a global marketplace, cultural intelligence is of the utmost importance. The lack of cultural intelligence can cost companies their productivity, efficiency, and quality of service or management, all of which can result in the loss of profits. According to dictionary.com, ethnocentrism is the belief in the inherent superiority of one's own ethnic group or culture, or the tendency to view other groups or cultures from the perspective of one's own. To overcome ethnocentrism, it is important to step away from stereotypes and acknowledge the various layers of a person. These layers include commonalities, behavioral patterns, personal choices, values, and core beliefs. It is important to look at people from other cultures as having many layers to them because people are not one-dimensional. The three components of cultural intelligence are knowledge, mindfulness, and behavior. Using these components at the same time enhances a person's cultural intelligence. Knowledge is the first of the three components of cultural intelligence. It is common for people to gain knowledge of cultural identities, values, attitudes, and practices in classes. Knowledge also includes understanding what culture is, how cultures vary, and how culture affects behavior. Our next component is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the quality or state of being conscious or aware of something, especially with the current reality. With regards to cultural intelligence, mindfulness means seeking multiple perspectives, being aware of your own assumptions, looking at the other person's body language, and using empathy. Another important part of mindfulness is suspending judgments and not looking at people through stereotypes or as lesser than people from one's own culture. The last component, behavior, must be linked with knowledge and mindfulness in order to achieve cultural intelligence. Behavior includes, but is not limited to, adjusting your body language and verbal response to the situation, dressing in the manner the other culture deems appropriate, such as wearing more conservative clothes, and using unconscious mimicry. Mimicry must be done carefully or it will be perceived as disingenuous or mocking of the other person's culture. Most people expect that someone who is not from their culture will try not to become their culture, but will be respectful of it. There are many ways to put yourself in a situation where it is possible to develop and practice cultural intelligence. Some ways to develop cultural intelligence include spending time in other countries and making friends with people from other cultures. The University of Maryland is an excellent place to develop cultural intelligence without having to travel far. This is because there are so many people from all sorts of different backgrounds, cultures, religions, and countries. While developing cultural intelligence, it is necessary to be curious about other cultures and to be aware of one's own biases against that culture. In conclusion, there are several layers to consider when interacting with people from cultures other than your own. These layers include many differences as well as many commonalities. In addition, when interacting with people from other cultures, it is important to ask yourself, how is this culture similar to my own, and how is it different? Then, use your cultural intelligence accordingly.